around this beautiful lab, you see the results of your generous donations. Over $48,000 was raised to purchase 33 brand new iMac computers. This act of kindness and generosity shows your love for education and your willingness to help make a difference in the lives of our children.
Mount Airy can never be the viable neighborhood we want it to be for all income groups without quality public schools. It is so gratifying to come together on the day to see the first fruits, see all these computers and all the shiny equipment, and knowing all the talented teachers who are going to use it to really bring kids up.
I've been acting as facilitator for the Mount Airy Schools Coalition, and I'd like to take a few minutes just to explain what that means. The coalition is a collaborative effort of Mount Airy USA, East Mount Airy neighbors, and West Mount Airy neighbors to do more to mobilize Mount Airy community support for the fabulous educators that we have here in our community. This project here at Emlen demonstrates what's possible when people come together in support of our schools.
Because like I said, I've been in every school and I've seen some of the computers that have been from the prehistoric era, that have been, computers that I used when I went to, like Temple a million years ago when we had these little, Macintosh computers, and, to see them sitting in someone's classroom almost 30 years later is completely unacceptable. If we do nothing else for our young people, making sure that they have access to the internet, that they have access and know how to use the technology of today is so critically important.
I started with 29 eMacs, which, if you're not familiar with, are from about 2003. They're very old and very big and very hot. And at any given time, only 24 ever worked. The computers in March just started randomly shutting down in the middle of being used, and the older students wouldn't even attempt to type anymore. At the end of the year, Philadelphia announced that they were now going to close several schools. When those schools closed, we received 6 newer computers. To my students, these machines became known as the middle computers, as they were nestled in now the middle of the room. While I was extremely grateful for the generosity, it was in fact only 6 computers, and some of my classes had 30 kids. So I devised a plan to be fair. Enter what are known by many as the popsicle sticks. Before my class, I would stick one of the plastic sticks in my back pocket, and when the class lined up, they would each choose a stick. After they chose, I would pull out one from my pocket and say, okay, anyone who picked a stick that is yellow may now sit at the middle computers. Kids who had other sticks had to sit at the old computers. Some would get so angry that they would sit there for 45 minutes and not do anything. When Mount Airy approached us about the possibility of this lab happening, quite honestly, I kind of took it with a grain of salt. They asked me, what would you teach if you had the machines to teach it? My response was simple: what wouldn't I teach?
The foundation has committed to putting 3 computers into every classroom at the school, of all 26 classrooms here. So what that means is that kids can now go as part of class or after class. They are now able to catch up on reading and whatever other special programs they need to run during this program. So not all the computing technology efforts are not just in this room. They're now able to run, math and reading and other programs anywhere else in the school. I think many of you will be shocked in how many kids in our Mount Airy here actually have nothing at home in terms of technology.
Thank you to all of you here for making this lab happen. This happened because people came together, private community members and organizations came together to make something good happen for people who needed it. Emlen is going through a renaissance right now. It's a true rebirth.
It's such a wonderful blessing that the community has come together and showed this type of support for our students, which is an extension of our family, because we're all Mount Airy neighbors.
None of it would have been possible without the extraordinary generosity of a few private citizens who don't have kids in this school, they don't have kids in the other schools. They just have a really deep understanding that these are all our children, whether we gave birth to them or not, and that they all want to learn.
Your participation, what you demonstrated here today, equips those of us who are elected to serve you to go to our bodies and advocate for you, because your activism here today is provided the guidance for us to go advocate for you. You know, Councilwoman Bass, myself, and every other elected official who represents this area, we were crazy because this school was on the closure list. There are people who work in Harrisburg who, when they think about the city of Philadelphia and our school district, unfortunately, they think we're just a group of people who have our hands out saying, government, please, 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 take care of us, take care of our responsibilities. To say this is why government should make the investment, because this is what individual citizens in my district, this is how they contribute.
The 21st century is not waiting for anyone. The only way to allow our children the opportunity to compete in this technological world is to provide them with the tools to do so. And you did that. Thank you so much, and thank you for entrusting us with the opportunity to teach them with these tools.